Dear Dhamma friends, and to all the attendants of the Kaji Monlam this year in 2015, I would first like to praise the center, KKBC, for organizing this wonderful aspiration once again as a part of continuation of the first Monlam which I had attended last year. I was asked to say a few words about the significance of aspirations, in Tibetan known as Monlam, and in Sanskrit known as Parni, I think, Prani. So therefore, aspiration is something that we all accumulate from the moment we are born. Probably not exactly in the form of aspiration, but more in the form of wishes. Whereas aspiration is more complete, is more concrete, in terms of there is a clarity of what one wishes to obtain, and at the same time one is quite clear of by using what kind of means to achieve that. And finally, once you have achieved it, then you also are quite clear of what to do with it. So therefore, aspiration is a far more complete, wholesome version of wishes in general. So, in Buddhism, what Buddhas and Bodhisattvas aspire is is for us to understand. They aspire so that we will understand the meaning and the truth of compassion and wisdom. That is the significance of Buddhist aspiration. And so, we as now followers or practitioners of that path, we also do the same. Of course, in this case, unlike the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, we also pray for ourselves as well. But of course not in a selfish way, but in a very logical and in a very beneficial way, by aspiring in such a way that we aim to understand compassion and wisdom for ourselves, so that we will be able to share that knowledge with the others. That means everyone. And during the aspiration occasions or events, what we normally do is we recite these prayers, one could say, that are composed by enlightened beings, and not ordinary beings like ourselves, but by enlightened beings. Enlightened meaning that those who have truly understood the meaning of compassion and truly understood the meaning of wisdom. And so, when we recite those texts, then basically we are doing exactly what we're supposed to do, but in a flawless way, because the texts that are composed are known as perfect speech, because there is no agenda, particularly there is no selfish agenda at all there. From the beginning, in the middle, and to the end, it is all dedicated for the benefit of others. So that's what we are trying to achieve by reciting it. So therefore, I would like to ask everyone to pay attention to this fact, and not be somehow discouraged or somehow feel that it's just any other event where one just sort of gathers around and just have some few exchanges and that's it. In this case, we are trying to sort of acquire a particular type of atmosphere where we actually let go of whatever that is holding us back. So if it's if the event is for an hour or 2 hours, I don't know how long, during that time we basically let go of everything and we just practice this thing called aspiration. And actually it's far easier than we think, because it doesn't require any physical activity. It doesn't require us to climb the Mount Everest. It doesn't require us to cross the Pacific Ocean. It doesn't require us to shout from the top of the Himalayas. And it also doesn't require us to think exactly like Einstein. All we have to do is just think about the benefit of compassion and wisdom. For example, like how important it is that we have felt one's mother's warmth, or that of one's fathers, or that of one's teachers, or that of one's caretakers, or whoever. Because of that, somehow I can relate to others better. Because of that, I have more hope in others, things like that. So I wholeheartedly welcome all of you who are attending this wonderful event. Practice well. This is also, I think, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for all the attendants, because of the presence of the Buddha's relics that you'll be witnessing in a very close proximity. Of course, although blessing has no distance, has no borders, but to those of us who are captivated by distance and borders, when we actually have the relics right in front of us, it makes a difference. So therefore, make every moment count. Make aspirations according to that of the Samantabhadra's aspiration prayers, so that one's aspirations are not jumbled up and waste time and makes unnecessary wishes. Whereas if you follow the aspiration prayers guide, you will make perfect aspirations, and you'll be able to draw all the blessing that you need from the relics. So I think this is a very special occasion also for the country as well, since it is also the 50th anniversary of the country. So I think for all the natives, I think it's a moment and a day to be proud, and it is also a good moment to reflect on the importance of taking responsibility in terms of particularly by the youth. Singapore is a nation where the youth has a lot to offer. I did say a few things in the last time when I was there in Singapore, and so I would just continue the same sort of thoughts that I have, which is that in this world and age, the youth has a lot to offer, and of course, education-wise, there is everything that one needs. Of course, the education system offers everything, but I think on top there is importance, and that there is a need to somehow um, draw all the experience and all the knowledges that have been so well preserved, one could say, by the previous generations. That means it could be anything, not necessarily spirituality. It could be about medicine, it could be about culture, it could be about history, it could be about how to make steam buns, it could be about how to acquire the delicate touch to have the perfect acupuncture, one could say. So there are so many types of arts and knowledges that the previous generations have kept for so long, and suddenly when we come across the modern era, there's a great risk where all of those knowledges can be lost in time and therefore never ever be found again. And no matter how much of a technology we have, no matter how much of advancement we have in our society, that's something that we cannot never trace back. So therefore, I think the youth has a strong responsibility to somehow bridge the gap between the previous generation and this generation, or one could say the next generation. So I would highly emphasize this fact to all the youth in the country, and then make the best use of what the system, the education system has to offer, and to utilize that as a means to actually bridge the gap. Thank you very much.